A couple of years ago, I made a documentary called Hidden in Plain Sight, a documentary based on a year's worth of the best of British wildlife, all of which were observed in and around my village. I am very lucky to live in such a quiet, unnoticed part of the countryside here in the UK for that main reason, and it's almost as if it's a very big secret to anyone not from the area.
However, little do many people know that this area harbours another big secret, one even more special and unique. And if we follow this farm track here for about a mile, we'll come face to face with it.
Even as we travel up the track, I'm reminded of the variety of different habitats that can be found along it. Owing to the culture of my county, it's understandable that the most common habitat around here is farmland. But even this can be split into desert-like farmland, harsh and barren, and grassland. These areas are unforgiving and exposed both to the elements and to all sorts of predators. So the heavily fragmented woodland and thick hedgerows that now and again appear along the path provide some form of safety and shelter. With such a varied number of habitats, it is unsurprising that the diversity of not just animals, but plants as well, is also quite high.
So this is lesser burdock. It's quite a rare plant around here because it requires very hard soil like this bank that it's currently growing on to grow. It's a biennial plant, which means it takes more than a year for it to mature fully, and it gets these lovely purple flowers coming off the stem here in around between July and October. Contrary to popular belief, another reason why this plant is so interesting is because people assume that it's poisonous, but you can actually eat, if you prepare it correctly, the whole plant, from its big leathery leaves here to the root that can grow up to 30 centimetres into the ground, which means it's quite hard to dig up.
And finally, as the banks and woods fall behind us, the surrounding grazing pastures are left open, allowing the secret to be exposed. This is RAF Yatesbury, or what's left of it anyway. It was used in both World Wars to train those wanting to join the RAF. Guy Gibson, leader of the infamous Dambusters raid, was even trained here. But despite having survived the worst wars in centuries, not to mention the will of various governing bodies to have it demolished, it has proven to be no match against nature, since it was finally abandoned in 1965.
Since then, various bodies have all bought different parts of the base, ranging from the Armed Forces to Wiltshire Microlight Centre. But as they all argue over whether or not to demolish the building, nature has already beaten them all to it. The dilapidated buildings, like this pillbox behind me here, used to guard the track to the base, have all proven to be useful habitats for bryophytes, epiphytes and the like. Anything that can really get a foothold into the stone.
This of course has attracted a whole host of wildlife, providing shelter, potential nesting sites and a food source. Indeed, the buildings have become victims of succession, and inevitably have even ended up supporting their own ecosystems. Just how long this sanctuary will last for, though, is uncertain. Unless the various stakeholders keeping a firm hand over the sanctuary can get their act together, it seems the supportive frame of RAF Yatesbury will continue to stand for the foreseeable future.